right, good afternoon, race fans. We're back in the trailer. It's the start of a new season. We've got Coach Stratton at the wheel today, and we're bringing you a whole bunch of updates from this week, and then also a little recap of our race at Trinity, or Scrimmage at Trinity this morning, and a preview of our racing next weekend in Boston. So I wanted to first jump in and get a really big thank you out to everybody who participated in the Giving Day this past Wednesday. This was our third time running the Giving Day as part of the university's annual Giving Day event, and it was our fourth Giving Day as a rowing association. And we raised $145,000 from 357 donors. It's a massive result, and it marks at least the third year in a row that has really shown a significantly higher level for the Red Fox Navy than the other members of our athletics department. And so I just wanted to get a shout out to everybody that takes part in that event. Whether you are one of our lead givers, who I'm going to name in a moment, or if you're someone who's just giving on your yearly level, or even if you're just someone who threw in $25 to help support the crew this year, your support matters, and it makes a huge difference to the crew. It means a ton to us. It is a demonstration of your support for the team and what we do here. And so I just wanted to thank everyone who took part, and say that we're really proud of what we've built here with the Red Fox Navy, and what we want to continue to build and provide for our athletes and our alumni. I want to give a super special shout out to our lead givers. So I'm just going to name them, and then I'm going to add a couple notes at the end. So during the Giving Day, we unlocked challenges from John Garrity, class of 91, Bob Sneeden, class of 75, Joe McHugh, class of 73, Wayne Schmidt, class of 1980. We unlocked a gift from the parents, class of 2026, and Fred Lothier, class of 1981. And then I wanted to especially name, at the end of our Giving Day, we had two very special gifts. One from Coach Bill Zabicki, class of 66, and then a corresponding coinciding challenge from his wife, Donna Zabicki. I just wanted to mention that one. We were not able to close out that challenge. We came very close, but the end of the evening just came before we were able to finish closing out that challenge. And so I wanted to mention Bill and Donna again. Donna set her gift up where it would unlock after 56 donors, and that was to acknowledge and honor her and Bill's 56 years of marriage. And so I thought that was really cool. It was really really cute way to set up the gift, and a really nice gesture. I want to thank Donna for participating with Bill. Bill, obviously the Zabicki family have been huge supporters. So special thanks to Bill and Donna and your whole family who've been taking part in this event. Really does mean a lot to the crew to have your support. And then I also wanted to name, we had one gift that we didn't get a chance to unlock at all, and that was from Tom Duffy, class of 1975. And I want to thank Tom for his generosity. Again, we didn't get a chance to mention his name on the Giving Day. And Tom's been a major supporter of our giving days for the last 2 years now, and we're really proud of the work that he's done as well to help push the crew forward. So thank you, Tom, for your support. I wanted to just talk a little bit about how we performed on the giving day. I know those of you who are following along, we had a pretty aggressive goal. We were trying to hit over 400 donors for the year. Last year our goal was 350, and we managed to get over the goal. We managed to get to right around 375, 380. And so we were hoping to get to 400 this year. And our lead gifts were structured in that way. You know, when we set up that giving day, we try to structure the lead gifts in a way that they'll kind of hype everybody up and push us towards the finish line. And this year we just didn't quite make it to the finish line. We didn't make it to 400 people. And you know, I've talked to some alumni who were frustrated about that. And I just wanted to encourage everyone to take a step back and be really proud of where we are as a group. We raised an enormous amount of money for this team. When I started working with our alumni Red Fox Navy members on building the early stages of the Red Fox Navy and trying to get more attention paid to our yearly giving, we were hoping that maybe we would be able to raise between 30 and 60K a year to help support the crew's needs as far as boats go. And our association has grown so significantly that we've been able not only to do that, but to totally transform the equipment situation for the whole team, to help provide additional training opportunities, to help save up money for various emergency expenses. We've managed to get new launches for the team, which have been a huge improvement, and we also were able to purchase a new truck this year. All of those things have been done way ahead of schedule and have been done in a way that has really helped boost the profile of the crew and our assets. And so I think everyone should be really proud of where we're at as an association. The fact is, we have grown to a scale where we're getting most of the donors that we should get each year. And that's not saying that we're doing perfectly, that we can't improve. I think we can a little bit, but we aren't going to be able to improve exponentially every year. And so I think we finally have shown this year we reached a certain scale where we're not just going to be able to add 50 donors to the top of the pile every year and just be able to go out and find them easily. So again, I think this group should be really proud of where we're at. I am, for sure. I came away from the giving day feeling like it was a mission accomplished for this group. And I don't think anyone should be feeling down that we didn't hit an arbitrary goal number that we set up. You know, looking forward to next year, I'm going to be working with our lead donors and with our leadership within the Red Fox Navy to try to figure out, you know, what is a good goal for the giving day as far as our donor count, and you know, how do we approach this in a way that keeps everybody engaged and fired up, but does it in a way where we're going to hit our goal. So again, I want to thank everyone who took part, especially our lead givers, and again, a special mention to Bill and Donna Zabicki, and especially Tom Duffy, who your generosity does not go unnoticed, and you have been very important leaders to the crew. So thank you for everything that you do. I'm going to move on and get locked in. One of my favorite things about the Giving Day is that it lets us really motivate and energize and hit everybody about fundraising on one big day every year. But then the rest of the season, me and Coach Stratton and the rest of our coaching team, and then you as alumni and families and parents can move on and focus on the crew and what the crew is doing, and not constantly be hitting you up for fundraising, which is cool. So we jumped in this week. We had our scrimmage at Trinity today. Before I get into the results of that, I just wanted to quickly mention, because it has been in the news a little bit, we did have an incident on our waterfront at our practice yesterday, Friday, I guess it was the 27th, right? Yes, Friday the 27th of March. We went out for practice with our men's crew early in the morning to do a race walkthrough and prep for our race today. And then we came in early to pack up. And while we were out rowing, the team from Vassar next door, our neighbors in Poughkeepsie, went out for practice. And while they were out, the weather really kicked up with a really big northerly wind and an opposing north running tide. And so, as many of you have witnessed or experienced having rowed on the Hudson, that resulted in fairly rapid deterioration of conditions to basically being like an ocean, with big 3-foot rolling waves on the river. And we were packing up for practice, and Vassar had 2 of their 8s which got swamped roughly right in the middle of the river and right off of where the Marist dock is located. I was actually in my car driving back to campus, but Coach Stratton was at the boathouse, and he was on scene with one of our new wakeless launches, and he was able to go out and work with the Vassar coaches and help to get all of their student athletes safely back to land. And then we were able to get the Vassar shells back to our docks, and we had our Marist athletes help them pull the boats out and get them drained out. Nobody was hurt, and everybody was okay. And so I just wanted to mention that incident took place. Special shout out to Coach Stratton, who this is actually the second time in 4 years that he's ended up in this situation, and has been able to help out Vassar, who were in a difficult situation. And so it's good to know that our system works. The response time for all of our emergency services on campus was extraordinary. From the time that I heard of the incident to the time that I arrived on scene, it was about 8 minutes. And in that time, all of the athletes had been removed from the water already. And we already had ambulance, fire truck, campus safety, Vassar campus safety were all on scene within that period of time. So, shout out to Coach Stratton, and also a shout out to all of the partners that we have on campus, campus safety and athletics, who we work with and have a lot of kind of deep-seated planning for should something bad happen on our waterfront. That action plan was set in motion yesterday, and it was not perfect, but everything got done, and the response time was rapid, and nobody got hurt. So just wanted to mention that because it happened and it was in the news, and it was reported that it was Marist crews, and so I wanted to make sure our alumni and everybody knew that we were there and we were involved, but it was not our athletes involved in that. All right, today we went to Trinity. Special thanks again to the Trinity coaching staff, Coach Kevin McDermott, especially. We've been organizing this event with them. I believe this was our 5th year maybe running this event with them. And it's got to be a little bit of a tradition. And it's a fun race. These crews come from very similar backgrounds. The athletes are very similar who go to both programs. The speed level between the two crews has often been very close, and so it's always been a pretty fun event for us to go to, and there's a lot of good camaraderie that comes out of it between the two crews. And we run it as a scrimmage. So today we did 2 5-minute pieces against the current. So it was a headwind, head current, and then we finished up with some 1-minute like little blaster pieces at the end. I'll give you kind of a quick rundown of the results. The varsity in the first 5-minute piece, the varsity started in the second lane, or sorry, there were 4 lanes coming out from shore. It was our second varsity first, and then the Trinity second varsity, and then our varsity, and then the Trinity varsity. The lanes are somewhat important because there is a significant speed difference in each lane, especially in the part of the river where we're working out. The Marist varsity definitely got the jump on the other 3 crews at the start, for sure. They got a good jump on the start, probably 3 or 4 seats, and then over the first 500 meters or so, they pulled up another probably 3 or 4 seats. And so at one point in the piece, probably about 3 minutes in, they were sitting maybe 7 seats up on the Trinity crew. And then the Marist second varsity started about even with the Trinity 2V, and then over the course of that first piece gradually pulled up even and then pulled up ahead by a couple of seats. Towards the end of that piece, the Trinity crews came crawling back, both of them, a little bit. In particular, the Trinity varsity came back really strong in the second half of that piece, and were able to walk back into the Marist crew. And then the final result at the finish line was an epic race. It was basically a seat or 2 lead for the Trinity varsity, and then the other 3 boats were pretty much even across. It was very tight. Coach McDermott and I, if you heard us on the live stream, we're both really hyped at how close the racing was, and so it was a great piece. In between pieces, we did switch some athletes around, and so we're still fresh to the season. We've only been on the water about a week, and we're pretty close to finding lineups, but we still have some switches and some questions, and so we're trying to figure out what that looks like. And so we did switch 2 athletes between pieces just to get some new data, some new information. And we also we lost a Cox box, or one of our Cox boxes ran out of battery, and so Coach McDermott and I had to go back to the dock to retrieve a Cox box. That meant that the athletes were kind of getting a little bit cold in between pieces. And then the second piece, Marist, was out in the outer lanes. So we were in lane 2 and 4 instead of lane 1 and 3. I got the sense that in between those pieces, the Marist boats didn't do as good of a job of like staying loose and warm, and also that we were, that we had screwed up a little bit of the rhythm by changing some people around, and the result was, in the second piece, was that both boats got beat. I also think that Trinity's crews were maybe not as warmed up or prepared for piece 1 and then when the racing was as tight as it was on piece one, they came into the second piece a little bit ticked off, a little bit ready to go, a little bit more ready to go. And so, yeah, that piece, the Marist, the Trinity varsity won by a good amount, and then the Trinity second varsity came in second. The Marist 2V came in third, and they were pretty close, maybe a seat or two up on the Marist varsity 8. So, again, I'm not sure what to make of the results. The lanes are super different, and part of the reason we run this event every year is that it's just nice to get more racing in. On the way home, we did some blasters that were about a minute long. The Marist varsity did not participate in those because one of our athletes, Nick Scarano was nursing a little bit of an injury. We think he'll be okay, but he was just getting a little tight, and we didn't want to push him uncomfortably in that moment. And so that boat just kind of did a nice easy paddle back to the dock. But the Marist 2V did some pieces with the Trinity 1V and 2V, and they were pretty close. I think the Trinity varsity was clearly the faster of those two crews, and the Trinity 2V definitely has some really big horses in it, and we're able to put out a lot of wattage. It felt like the Marist crew in those pieces was able to get the rate a little bit higher, and as a result, they were able to hang for those little 1 minute blasters. Overall, I gotta mention our 3V, 4V also raced against Trinity's 3V, 4V. Those races were not as close. The Trinity 3V and 4V did a great job. They were open water lead on all of their pieces. So definitely that is a big nod to the depth of their program. That has not always been the case. But at least today, their 3V and 4V were both really strong and really showing the depth of their team. And a little bit of a window into where Marist wants to go in future years, what we're trying to accomplish here, to build the strength of our third and fourth and fifth crews to be just as strong and to be able to compete on that level. So shout out to those guys for some great racing. It was nice for our athletes to get out. We had a couple of switches in those boats as well, including between some coxswains, and so that was our day of racing. After racing, our varsity got to go out. We took an Empacher shell out for a little test drive to see what we thought, and that was fun as well. So thank you to Coach McDermott for lending us a boat to test out for a couple minutes. So overall thoughts on the day. We've got work to do in our lower boats as far as depth. My opinion is that a lot of that work is fitness related. In general, our 3 and 4V crews look pretty good when they're rowing, but we're lacking some fitness. So, or at least in comparison to the Trinity crews today, we are. And so that's a piece of the puzzle here. We need to get a little bit fitter, a little bit more efficient. There is some technical work obviously still to be done there, but I think in the case of those crews, it's just building out depth, and that's something that as a team we're looking to build in time. I think that the second varsity and the first varsity crews came out of the gate at the beginning of the day with a ton of fight and showed that they were here with the intention to have a real competition and to win some races. and that was cool to see. I loved the energy. I felt like the first piece for the Varsity 8 was a little bit of a lost opportunity. I think that was a winnable piece, and I think we got up early and tried to get into a mode. It felt like we got where we were trying to get comfortable and just kind of hold them off instead of leveraging the advantage that we had gained early on in the piece. And so we talked afterwards about the race a little bit, about, you know, how to strike in that moment, to try to go after a crew and break them a little bit when you've asserted yourself early in the piece and you have that opportunity. So that was an important topic and something good for them to learn. Again, part of the reason why it's fun to do this is you get multiple looks, and so it was added racing experience for that boat, getting to see a hostile crew right next to them. And the second piece, I think we need to do a better job in both of those boats of maintaining our composure when we're tired. I think both boats had an okay piece, but I think we allowed ourselves to feel like we were on our back foot, and we allowed ourselves to be less prepared for that piece, and it didn't have to go that way. And so, you know, we're going to be talking this week about, you know, you're not always going to be able to start with your perfect warm-up and your perfect everything, and like, how do we execute our preparation a little bit better to make sure that we can do what we need to do on the water. But overall, I'm excited about where we are. We're very much looking forward to next weekend, which is our duel with MIT. We are going to be racing on Saturday morning. I do not have exact race times yet, but I will post them underneath this video. And I will also be posting information about where to go and how to watch the racing next weekend. It'll be in the morning on Saturday. We usually start around 9 a.m. in Boston, 9 or 10, kind of in that window. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. Should be a great weekend. We've had some really fantastic racing up there with MIT in the past. And last year, the second varsity and the third varsity crews came up with wins. And so I think those crews have lit a little bit of a fire under the varsity to try to move ahead and start putting a target on MIT's back as a potential crew to really go after. So we're really looking forward to that meetup, that matchup. More information to come out this week about that race. And thanks for everyone who tuned in today. We will have a formal live stream next weekend, probably on our Facebook page, but we'll figure that out. Special thanks to the parents who came out today and cooked lunch for the crew. It was a chilly morning here in Hartford, and we got some nice burgers for everybody coming off the water, so that was nice to have some hot food. That's all I've got. A special thanks again to everyone for help with the Giving Day. You know, kind of last word on that is Coach Stratton and I, we've been involved in rowing for a long time, and we care really deeply and passionately about the sport, about the athletes, and rowing is a niche sport, so it can often feel like you're kind of going it alone. And it is a very touching and emotional experience for me every year, watching the flood of love and support that comes through on Giving Day. I know that that it feels very special to me, and I also know that it feels very special to the athletes. There is a very palpable feeling on campus within the athletics department that this group, this alumni group, the Red Fox Navy, which includes now the parents as well, and a lot of various friends of the program, this is something that is very unique and special, that is not experienced everywhere. And I think that what we've built is something that you should all be proud of. And I hope that Coach Stratton and I can continue to deliver, not only the coaching and support for our athletes that you guys are looking for, but the engagement with our alumni and families and friends that continues to help you feel like you're an important part of what we do here. And without your support, this would be a much, much bigger challenge. So thanks again. We'll look forward to seeing some of you on the road this spring, and go Red Foxes.